What is going on, everyone? Today, this is going to be a sort of a vloggy type thing using my phone, which is why it's going to be a bit shaky. So, sorry about that. Not really doing anything again today, just computer stuff. Installing some stuff on my gaming PC because I wiped it because of it was running slowly. Setting up my work PC here, so getting antivirus and all my college stuff loaded on it. I'm going to try and get this old Toshiba satellite working because it just randomly died on me. If not really too fussed. That's my retrofitted computer, which is also my work computer. So, some people may ask, why do you need a work computer when you've got a gaming computer? And a laptop that you take to college anyway, which is over there. As you can see, pointing at my finger. And there's my mirror and all my things and my System of a Down poster. So, backstory is, this thing here only has a 60 gig SSD as its primary drive. It has a 500 gig secondary, but a 60 gig primary. It originally had a 128 and a 1TB hard drive, but I pulled both those out and put it in my laptop because I use my laptop quite a bit more. You know, it comes to college with me every day, and when I want to do work, most of the time I'll just sit and do it on there, but in case I need something bigger, that's what this is for. And there's my coffee, if you want to say hello to it. So, Visual Studio, which is the programming environment that I use, likes to install to the C drive. So that, in this case, is the 60 gig SSD. I'm trying to explain this to people who aren't really familiar with computers, but it probably won't work because I'm a nerd. So since it only has 16 gig SSD, Visual Studio takes up about 15 gigs on the C drive and 2 gigs on the D drive, which is the 500 gig hard drive. Now the 500 gig hard drive isn't a problem, you know. I don't have enough things that I store on this computer to fill up a 500 gig hard drive. I did, however, on the other laptop. I was filling up, I think it was around 400 gigs, which is why I switched it with the 1TB in the first place. Just because I didn't want to randomly run out of storage. So yeah, 15 gigs on the solid state drive. Now, bear in mind, if I go into my Explorer here, the whole 60 gigs isn't even available for the computer to read. It shows up as 55 gigs. Now, since Visual Studio uses about 15 gigs of that, by the time that's finished alone, that's down to 40 gigs. But bearing in mind first chapter install Windows 10 and all the updates, so that's around 35 gigs. Then I have to install Premiere, which is probably going to be around, I don't fucking know. But as you can see, 11 gigs of 55 gigs free. That's a problem. So the work computer has a 200 gig hard drive that all I plan to store on it is work, nothing else. So I can get Visual Studio off here, freeing up some space, put it on here, and be all good, and this will have more space. And yes, look, I hurt my finger. It looks yummy, doesn't it? Yeah. So yeah, that's all I'm really doing at the moment, just sitting here waiting for Premiere to install, and Avast, excuse the flash. So Avast, the antivirus on this computer to install, then I can install Visual Studio. Connection speed on this is absolutely awful, because the wireless card that's actually in this is so old that it actually is not supported by Windows 10 at all. In fact, I don't even think it has 64-bit drivers. The driver CD only has drivers for Windows 98, ME, XP, and 2000. And when I try and load the XP driver on here, it says, could not find an x64 driver, and Windows Update can't help me either. So what I've done, connected an Ethernet cable to the back of this, run it through there, and I'm sharing the wireless connection from this computer over to that one. And it's awful. It's probably taken 20 minutes already, and it's only halfway through. So that's where I'm at right now. Not really having most fun, but what the hell? I've got Device Manager open. For the nerds in the audience, you can have some specs for those who cares. G41, for those who know their computers, you will know this is absolutely not a gaming computer. Processors, Xeon, dual core, fairly standard LGA 775, and 4 gigs RAM. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. Not fun, got nothing else to do, but I'll show the audience my specs. This is my gaming PC, i3 6100, 8 gigs of RAM. Go to Device Manager. I've got a 750 Ti. Funny story about that. You may have noticed that this case is actually broken. The other day, I actually dropped this when I was moving it and shattered the case, and I had a 750 Ti in there, and it broke. Something fell off it, 2 little chips, and it started displaying garbled all over the screen. I sold it on eBay for 30 quid, it was broken, and hopefully someone's trying to fix it. So yes, I didn't have a graphics card, and at the time I didn't have a graphics card, I flashed a custom BIOS on here. It was the Skylake non-K overclocking BIOS, so I could overclock my 6100 on this Z170. So yeah, I couldn't use my iGPU, and my graphics card was broken, so I sold the graphics card, and I had to use my laptop for gaming for about I think it was around a month, because I didn't have a graphics card, and I didn't want to buy a new one. It was actually a mate in college who saved my arse. We were talking, and he'd upgraded to a 970, and he had a 750 Ti laying around, this one, which was identical to the one I broke. So he said to me, he was like, look, I don't need it, you can just have it. So I was like, sick. So he gave it to me for free, which was actually really, really solid of him. So if you're watching this, safe, bro. But funny thing is, he's running a 970, and his computer had a Core 2 Duo E4400. No, you did not hear that wrong. Which was the biggest bottleneck ever. So I threw him a bone because he gave me a GPU. I gave him a better CPU. I can't remember which one it was. I think it was an E8400, and I gave him a mouse as well because his didn't work. It was nowhere near equaling the cost of the 750 Ti, but, you know, he didn't want it, and I made him aware, and he was just like, sure, take it. So I helped him out. Yeah, he helped me out, so I think it was all good. So yeah, I can use my computer again. So, Premiere's still going. Avast over there is still going. So, I'm gonna put this down, and you can come on an adventure with me, and we'll try and get that thing working. I've had it working before, just then one day it inexplicably died, so I'm gonna try and bring it back to life, so let's go. So I've taken some panels off that old Toshiba. As you can see, hard drive and RAM have both been taken out of it. I've no idea if that's the cause of the reason it won't work, or if I took it out because it didn't work. Also took the battery out. If you are going to work on a laptop, focus, take the battery out. It's good measure, and if you don't, you could damage something. Possibly hurt yourself, but laptop's a bit low voltage for that. Here we can see Vista Home Basic product key sticker. I'm not going to show you all of it, so ha ha ha. Right. So I'm just going to pull out my RAM drawer, which of course won't come out. Now I've tried to put the camera on it, so I'll just move over here, up to my RAM drawer, which is here. So this machine takes DDR2, so I'm going to take this stick and this stick, which I believe to be good, but if they're not, I have 2 more sticks in here, 2 Elpida sticks, Samsung 1GB, they might be right, so 2 Elpida sticks, both 512 megs capacity. So let's just take this all out. Right, so Elpida, where's the other Elpida stick gone? Where have I got so many Samsung 1GB sticks from? Oh, it's okay, so because I can't actually remember which one of these models is good, I'm going to use this 512 meg stick, which I absolutely know works. So I'm going to set this aside here, and then if this computer boots, I will try and get it 2 gigs of RAM using one of these working RAM modules, because 2 of these don't work. Funny story. Oh no, my channel's full of funny stories, isn't it? Or is that? Hey, here's the other RAM stick. Okay, it's 1 gig of RAM total. When this was working, I tried to order 4 gigs of DDR2 RAM for it. Now I did order 4 gigs of DDR2, but instead of ordering 1 4 gig stick, I ordered 4 1 gig sticks. I keep wanting to say I installed. In fact, speaking of installed, let's go ahead and do that now. Now I can put this in. As long as we don't stick our fingers in there, it is fairly safe to leave that open. So yeah, I ordered 4 gigs of DDR2 RAM. I meant to order 1 4 gig stick but I accidentally ordered 4 1 gig sticks. So they arrived here, and I originally thought, fuck, I've ordered the wrong thing. So I thought, okay, we can make this work. 2 of the sticks turned out to just be completely dead, which is 2 of the ones in there, which I need to verify. And then they were also advertised on the seller's listing as being 800 megahertz. Checked CPU-Z on both of the ones that did work. They reported as 400 megahertz, and even on the sticker, they said 67. So I got in touch with the seller and they issued a refund, so that was alright. So as you can see, I have given this power. You probably can't see that because the flash is doing horrible things, but that power light is in fact on. Shush. This doesn't appear to be doing anything, does it? I don't know what the hell is wrong with this. I did buy this on eBay for £15 as it was broken. I got it working and then it stopped working again, so I'm guessing that could be part of the problem. But I'm going to try and turn it on again. Let's not do anything. So I'm thinking possibly a memory problem, because I know Toshiba satellites of this particular era, because I have 2. If there's a RAM problem, the power light comes on, but they don't make any beeps. So I'm thinking maybe one of these slots is slightly bad. So I'm just gonna take this out, give it a good blow. Oh, my RAM slot is actually broken. Don't know if you can see that. It snapped sort of off. Yep, she's dead. That slot's broken. Okay. I couldn't imagine that physically caused the computer to stop functioning, but that is something that needs to be noted. And it also needs to be noted that I need to not drop my phone. So I'm just going to kind of slide this around its side here, push it in firmly and seat it down. Do the same for this top slot, you know, just shove it in, wiggle it around a bit, push firmly, seat down. Give them a few. There we go. Now, let's get this turned on. And while we wait for this, I can finally set up Avast on this machine, because it decided to load and it hasn't decided to focus. There we go. Okay, it doesn't want to do anything apparently. There we go. Now I only want to do it once. Just get rid of all this crap. Okay. Hey, you can see my reflection there. Peace. And, I don't know. She doesn't do anything, so I don't know what I'm going to do. If I'm going to strip this for parts and just flog it. So we've got a dual-core Athlon in there. I think it's a QL62. And I could sell the motherboard as the parts were not working. I did that with my old H110, got around 30 quid. I'll probably get around 5 to 10 for this one. Windows Vista, that just speaks for itself. Toshiba Made Easy. Is it made easy to start? Because it isn't starting. Let's go back to this computer. Customize. Minimal protection. Install. Right, so that's all good and it's behaving. Now I need to download Visual Studio, so if I just reach over here. Visual Studio. So yeah, this is what my college uses, or at least my class uses, for all our nerdy IT programs for our assignments. Community 2017, free download. Give it to me, please. Thank you for downloading Visual Studio. I'm going to save that in my downloads folder. And then run the executable. Yes, I accept all of your terms and conditions. You now own my life and everything I've ever done with my life. Congratulations, Microsoft. As you've probably already guessed, this isn't really the fastest machine, but I don't really need it to be. I mean, it's just going to be for work. Load times aren't really a problem, and when I turn it on and load everything, I'll probably go downstairs and make a coffee like this anyway. Speaking of which, I'm going to have a sip. Yeah, this isn't going to do anything. Right, let's turn it back off. I do apologise for the shaky camera. I know I'm doing it, just it's kind of hard to control the phone and make sure that I don't cover the microphone at the same time. Because if the way I want to hold it, like this, I'm now partially covering the microphone. So I have to hold it kind of like this, which you can't see how I'm holding it, but what the hell. You'll just have to take my word for it. So I'm going to take one of these RAM sticks out. I think the bottom slot is primary, so I'm just going to kind of firmly seat that, see if I can get it to turn on. Oh, and yeah, this is picking up all kinds of dust, as you can see. This table really needs a fucking clean. There's Pepsi and receipt wrappers behind my computer. There's dust absolutely everywhere. Just look at the base of this, it's disgusting, and oh, that's my eBay order. Yeah, this whole room really just needs a clean. If you look under here at my cable management, it isn't that good. That's something I may do today, or may not. Right, one last go, and if not, I'm just going to give up on this computer. As you can see, power light. Nothing. Power light, nothing. Absolutely nothing. Doesn't respond to a numlock. I'm pressing the numlock key, it isn't lighting up. Fans are going though, I can hear some fan noise. Maybe if I just kind of hit it, that'll fix it. I have actually had that work before, just literally hitting a computer and making it working. Could try reflowing the motherboard, that's not really something I want to fuck around with. I'd like to think that I've got better things to do than waste my time on a 10-year-old computer that's pretty much worthless today, even if it does work. Yeah, this just isn't working. Alright. I do know when to stop, and if a computer doesn't work, that is when you stop. So just turn it off. Turn it back over. Take out my RAM module. Take the hard drive caddy, put it back in, screw this back together. I don't know where the RAM door cover is. Found it. Yeah, this room really needs a clean. Just look at that RAM door. It's been sitting on my desk. It's covered in dust. This is a two-hand job, really. Okay, there we go. Oh, shit. I need a smaller screwdriver for that. There we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3. I might just extract the CPU from this, to be completely honest. So this computer is installed Avast, my antivirus of choice. Continue. I don't want to protect my Android phone. Continue. Avast free, go away. Visual Studio is installing, and this computer's just kind of sitting here. 6.4. See, this is what I mean. Now Premiere's installed, I've got 6.5 gigs basically free. Once I install Visual Studio, that should go up to 20, which is something I'd be much more comfortable having. So yeah, and Slimline drive, I really don't have anything on, just a bunch of eBay listings. There you can see all my nerdy eBay listings, nothing in downloads, and just have a bunch of program files. Speaking of which, I'm currently nuking all of my Facebook posts because they were all stupid. So yeah, that is something I'm doing. You can see all my games and stuff. You know what I think I'm going to do? because this computer just doesn't want to work, I'm going to take the CPU out, see if I can maybe strip this machine down to its bare essentials, maybe sell the screen assembly, just to see if I can get something for it. I don't really care if it goes back together afterwards. If it worked, I would give more of a damn, because when I did have this up and running, I will give it, it was a very nice computing experience overall. You know, I had a big screen, good keyboard, a decent set of speakers for a laptop. Wasn't really anything in the way of bass, but they got decently loud. Quite a good, considerable deal louder and cleaner than my current laptop speakers, my T430 over there, but that laptop is also immensely more powerful with a Core i7 and SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, compared to dual-core AMD Athlon from 58 years ago. Visual Studio wants to install now, so let's go ahead and check those buttons. I'm aware that you can't really see what I'm doing, but just imagine me clicking a few checkboxes and then clicking the install. There we go. Total install size, as I was saying earlier, 16.88 gigs. And on a 60 gig SSD, that's nearly a quarter of it gone just with one program. Which is why I'm installing it to this hard drive that I don't want to put anything else on and frankly don't care about. As you can see, 200 gig, still got loads free. An ESD ISO. That will be my USB. That's not even plugged in still. I don't know what the fuck's going on there. So yeah, I'm going to get this apart and then I will show you. So here I am inside this old Toshiba. This video at the moment has very much seemed to become explicitly about this computer, which is not something I really wanted, but what the hell, this day is pretty much just dead today. That's British slang, if you're American, nothing is really going on. So I'm just going to take everything off this board so I can extract the CPU from the board and hopefully sell it. Or just keep it around, might even sell the whole board, don't. Well, I just accidentally hit the stop recording button, but we are back now, as you can probably tell. So I'm just going to disconnect all of these lovely wires. Don't know what half this stuff does. Okay, screen cable, VGA cable, and other screen cable. All good. I know what it does now. That's the charging cable that goes to the motherboard. This is a cable which I've honestly got no idea what it does. I appreciate you can't really see what I'm doing. I'm literally just pulling out tab style connectors. Not very interesting, but hey, I am British. Wireless card. It's never a bad idea to keep a few spare wireless cards around. So I've already got one. It's from an old Lenovo. I do like Lenovos. So keep this around. Maybe find a use for it. Just chuck it in my drawer for now. Or I could go put it with the other one, which would probably be a better idea because it's in an anti-static bag. I really can't think of anything interesting to say while I do this. So, yeah, I'm British. Which is why I can't think of anything interesting to say, because I'm not American, I'm not witty enough. Admittedly, I could do something, or say something slightly humorous, although my humour often involves very, very dark topics that should not be joked about, so I'm not going to do that, or else I might get killed, which wouldn't be very good, would it? So, last screw. Ow, just hurt my scab. Yeah, that finger is really, really painful. I was fucking around with a lighter, so I kind of got just deserved, didn't I? But look at it. For those of you who don't like gore, look away now. Anyway, back to the PC. Appears we've gotten all the screws out. Actually, I'm going to try and set... No, it's screwed in. I don't have a bit that fits it. Yeah, all of these screws appear to be taken out, so I should just be able to pull the front of the case. Okay, no, we're going to pull the back of the case, disconnect the CD drive connector. So pull up. This might be a two-handed job. Nope. She's coming free. There we go. Board comes out. So, take out this board, set it down here for a second, on the keyboard of that computer, shut this, move it away. That's lost a considerable bit of weight now. So, this board, very, very small. It is a laptop board. Alright, I'm going to get to work removing this CPU. The mounting mechanism for this CPU is really, really strange. I've never seen one like it. So you'd think that this would just all be one piece, wouldn't you? But no, you would be wrong. This really is quite weird. So most laptops, they just have a heatsink that comes down with an attached metal plate that goes over the CPU. This has that, but this piece here kind of slides onto these screws, and then it gets held down by some other screws. Usually you just have screws coming out of this plate onto this, but hey, they wanted to be different, so they fucking well were. Because I've honestly never seen that before. So, let's talk about this board, just because it's a relevant topic. Socket S1 AMD processors, believe it will take up to quad-core Phenom, model number P960 I believe. Sports up to 8 gigs of DDR2 RAM. Has DVD port, full-size SATA port, 2 DDR2 slots as I've mentioned before. North bridge for the processor I'm assuming, USB, Ethernet, that. Other side, just a bunch of proprietary connection stuff and the wireless slot. So, now I've undone the screws, the heatsink should just slide straight off, allowing us to see the AMD Athlon dual core, which I'm now going to free from its socket here, just by releasing the latch and pulling straight up. Simple as you can see. Socket S1, nothing strange there. And this is our AMD, bit early for AMD, ATI Radeon 3100 graphics solution. Fairly underwhelming. I can't get this fucking thing off. Yeah, fairly underwhelming, however, it is a relatively nice step up to the Intel offerings that would have been available at the time. So, that being the early GMA chips, so GMA 945, 950, 965. Anyone who's used them knows for a fact that they are just awful. You know, those chips really couldn't do anything. Even the Intel G41 chipset in here, that computer there actually beats the 945, 50 and 65, and the G41 is awful. Funny story though, this ATI 3100 beats the G41 in there. So this graphics chip, this tiny little thing, is more powerful than the graphics in there. I think in the Passmark score, that gets a score of around 50. That gets 75. Now, both of those figures are just downright crap by today's standards, but when you go from that to this, you do notice a nice graphical upgrade, which is one of the reasons I started using this again, so I could at least watch YouTube in 1080p, which that computer can't really do at all. But then this computer went and died, didn't it? So yeah, that's some lovely expensive thermal paste I wasted on this. It went and died. So camera refuses to focus, so I'm going to clean up the... oops. I'm going to clean up this CPU and the GPU, and then we'll take a closer look at them. So AMD Athlon... Focus. Did it say the model number on this anywhere? 2007 AMD, made in Malaysia. AM-QL62D AM22GG. So I was right, this is a QL62. I will pull up the details and specifications for that CPU after I've gone and cleaned it. So, back in flash. Here we have the QL62 dual-core Athlon. All lovely and cleaned up. You can see the lovely die here. Also, went ahead and cleaned up that graphics chip, just because I could. Funnily enough, this is another CPU. This is an Intel. This is a Celeron 900. This is a single core 2.2 gigahertz. And the only reason I'm pointing this out is because this was one of the CPUs offered in the Intel variant of this computer. Now, what I would like to point out is the die size on this, so this kind of big black-looking reflective part, it looks black but it's actually reflective, is considerably bigger than the one on this, and that is a very good reflection of the power difference, because in my first laptop, which was a Compaq CQ56, I think, I actually had this exact CPU. Well, not this exact one, but I had a Celeron 900. And it was rubbish. It was so slow. It could barely run Windows 7. Whereas I put Windows 7 and Windows 10 on this, and they both ran perfectly fine. So yeah, die size, good indication of power. So I'm just going to take my anti-static bag full of CPUs, put the AMD QL62 into storage, and I should, if I remember, here's something you won't see every day. Socket 462 AMD Athlon, very old and retro looking, very interesting. I might put this on eBay. And over here I should, here we go, have even more. I'm not a hoarder, I promise, I just have a lot of stuff. So, what do we have here? Let's clean this off, dropped it on the floor. I know what this is. This is the CPU that used to be in my T430 before I replaced it with an i7. This is an i5-2520M dual-core hyper-threaded 2.5 GHz, actually relatively good performer. But I took it out when I swapped it with the dedicated graphics card model because it was designed for the i7, so the CPU was a bottleneck. Old socket 478 Celeron, really nothing interesting to say about it. Throw it in the bag. And these are all the same. These are LGA 1366 Xeon E5620s, 4 cores, 8 threads. Yeah, I'm really not good at this whole holding the phone thing, am I? So we can just put this back over here. Up here, just got a few things. GeForce 2 MX 32 megs on eBay. ID RAID card, not worth anything. Modem, and a hard drive. So, right. I want to get this computer off my desk, so I'm going to put it back together so I don't have spare parts laying around fucking everywhere. But first, where's that little black piece? There it is. Just going to keep everything together because that makes the most logical sense. So if it came out of this computer, I will put it back in. That went on like so. Then we just have to push this down and put everything back. So, just pop the screw in onto the end of my screwdriver. Can't fucking pick the damn thing up. It's not magnetized, is it? Oh, this screwdriver is. Here we go. Shit. Alright. I'm going to pick this back up in a minute because I can't see. So what I mentioned earlier about the desk being horrible, dirty, still stands and everything is messy. So I'm going to wait for this thing to finish because it's still bloody going because, you know, old crappy hardware. So I'm going to put all these computers and everything off the desk. In fact, I'll go ahead. No, this is actually doing something, so I can't do it yet. At least I think it is, unless it's finished. Nope, this is still going. Still deleting all of those shitty posts. It's only got down to September. Alright. There we go. So let's just go to my profile, make sure it's deleted all the stupid shit. Yeah, I suppose that'll be fine. Alright, so I'm gonna get this shut down. I don't want to update. It's going to try and make me update now, for fuck's sake. Brilliant. So I'm going to get this shut down. What a way to do that. I'm going to put this DVD back in its case. You can tell I've officially run out of things to say when I'm waiting for a computer and putting a DVD back in a case and filming it. There we go. Brilliant. I have this thing that doesn't work. Into the bin it goes. Right. So I'll be back later, and hopefully this will all be clean. I'm back. And as you can see, setup looks a lot better. There's not many cables down here. The ones that are there I'm going to try and clean up. I put this computer on the floor to save space and focus. We've got the monitors up there, you know, work computer, gaming computer, speakers on either side, there's a few USBs and stuff. I dusted off the top surfaces of everything. That bin is just out of place. So now I'm going to get this video edited, uploaded, and do some work, believe it or not, using my computer here. So, thank you for watching. I will try and upload more frequently, and I'll see you next time. So, one last thing. Now that I've removed Visual Studio from my main computer, you can see 18.2 gigs free. So that was quite a departure from earlier when it was nearly down to 12. So, dedicated work PC definitely paid off. I now have more stuff I can put on my SSD. So yeah, this really is the end this time. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.